Okay, this is part 3 to our 3-part series of disassembly, cleaning, and reassembly of the Ruger 1022. We are now in part 3. Put this thing back together. If you missed part 1 and 2, there's part 1, there's part 2. Go ahead and click on those links. They'll show you those processes. The only thing we're going to do in this part is coat everything with ballistol. Once we're done assembling with everything, get rid of the oil from our fingerprints, and run it over with a silicone cloth. You can use rusty rags or whatever else is out there. That's mainly to keep the oils that are of our hands, off the firearm and prevent it from rusting. Now the first step to reassembly is going to be the hardest. We're going to take our charging handle and slide here. Put the charging handle in first, same way. Make sure that little pin back here, or the little groove, lines up. Put the square end down. You want to line that up with the charging handle. Now this is where it gets a little tricky. I go ahead and pull this back first. When you're pulling from the outside like that, you get a lot of leverage in it, and it's not a true 90 degrees, it's kind of turned in, and that's where it gets hard sliding this into place. Another thing is you don't want to put this in one end or the other. You kind of need to go straight down evenly for it to work. So I said the first step's a little complicated. Kind of put a light pressure on it. That is all that you have to it. It takes a couple tries to get it right the first time. Little function test, now we're good to go. Let's keep moving on. We have the pins to put in next, and to do that we're going to take our trigger assembly. Now you might have maybe messed with it when you're cleaning a little bit. What we want to do is have, let's say for a second you had it like this. You want to take your trigger, pull it all the way back, and go ahead and bring it back like that. Put it on safe, and we're going to put this little pin up there. Go ahead and slide it right in there, and what you should see is the holes clearly visible. It should take no pressure. A common mistake that I often make is having the the bolt catch up, and you'll see it protrudes a little bit, so you want to go ahead and make sure that's flush and not in the way. That might be a little problem you're encountering. Just thought I'd mention that. So now we have that. We're going to go ahead and put our pins in. Now same rules apply. Everything gets ejected out the right side, so our pins are going to get pushed in from this side, going back the same way. And what I try to do is, if I marred up one end from mashing it, I try to put that end in so I only have one nasty side. Put one pin in, second pin in, and our large pin. You see, mine can pretty much just push in for the most part all the way right to the last bit. What I'm going to, this is in fact my large pin just fell out there. What I'm going to do here is take my box, and we're just going to give it some light taps again. That's all you have to do. Make sure they're flush. Before we go ahead and mount this, what we're going to do is we're going to coat our barrel with a little bit of ballistol. If you want to use silicone at this point, that's fine. I just like ballistol. It's fairly inexpensive, and just a good liberal amount of this stuff. It's safe on wood, leather. That's why I don't have a problem wearing gloves at this point. We're going to use a good coating now, and we're going to wipe off the excess. So this is going to prevent rust from occurring and give it a nice, durable finish if you take it out in the elements. So once that coating's on there, we're going to find kind of like a clean spot and get all that extra excess off there. So now you got a nice shiny barrel. You just cleaned it. It looks beautiful. Got a nice protectant layer on it. Try not to handle that as much as you can in this next step, but what we're going to do is reverse process again. Put our safety halfway in between. See, our large pin fell out. That's okay. It happens a bunch of times on mine, but when you get the stock on, it leaves it in place. We're going to go ahead and tilt it up. Set it right back on. What I like to do next is, before I go and put any screws on, kind of the fingers here, pull back on it, make sure it's seated back as far as I can, and leave a light bit amount of pressure on it. Put my screw in. A little trick I learned from my granddad is, when you're doing delicate threads, spin it the back the wrong way until you hear it kind of click into spot. Like that. That way you know your threads are lined up, and then you can go ahead and tighten it on. There's our screwdriver again. Now you don't have to worry about scratching up the wood. There's actually a little brass kind of washer sitting in there. And here it's just snug. In fact, you can see I'm using just two fingers to tighten it. That's all I need to do. Then we're going to come at here, put our barrel band back on. And this one's not even going to be as tight, it's just snug. What is snug? 2 fingers tight? Barely 2 fingers. Just tight enough where it's not going to slide off. In fact, that might be a little too tight. There we go. Perfect. So now, go ahead and touch up any spots that we might have handled in the process. And that's about it. You can go ahead and finish off with a silicone cloth. Just take it and wipe down wood stock, kind of protect the finish, give it that nice shine that you like looking at. Oops, sorry about the camera bump there. Now you can use Rusty's rags. I'll probably be picking up one of those here soon enough. But in the meantime, I'm going to finish using this Hoppy's rag. Still plenty of impregnated silicone on it. And I'm hitting everything, aren't I? So there you have it. Your finished, cleaned, reassembled Ruger 1022. Hope you enjoy this video. Go ahead and, if you want to, favorite it so you have reference it later, know how to put stuff back together. That's usually the most important part. Leave a comment, like this video. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button up there. Let me know, you got some loyal followers. I appreciate it. So thanks for watching. This is One Idea Ahead channel. Dash signing off. Peace.